Hello, this your girl Dietrich. Coming back on here to finish my story. I didn't complete the whole story, but this is part two of the testimony that I done for you guys a couple weeks ago. I left off, I can't remember where I left off, but I forgot to mention and let you guys I did stop urine when my kidneys failed. And how I started back urine is that they put me on this medication that's called Solaris. It's very expensive. It's $142,000. The hospital approved it. My insurance didn't have nothing to do with it. The chief, the chief of the hospital said she was on the board. She was going to approve the medication. Don't worry. She told me don't worry about it. And the medication is like an infusion. I had about two infusions while I was in the hospital. The reason for the medication is that they were thinking that that would reverse my kidneys back, have me start back urine and my kidneys would be good, but that wasn't the case. So when I got discharged, I had to have an infusion every other week. Um, and the treatment lasts for about a couple hours. Um, so after that, 6 months in the process, they reevaluated me and they was like, well, we're gonna have to take you off the medication because they was thinking that it would help my kidneys reverse. But what it did do, it helped me back urine. Hallelujah! Yes, I was so proud, so happy that I started back urine because going through that 6 months without urine and it's playing with my mind and everything. But that Solaris medication did help me start back urine. And I was so grateful and thankful for that because it's the little small things that we take for granted. In a million years, I never thought that my kidneys would fail and I would stop urine. Certain things that we just take for granted. I lost my vision for 60 seconds and I was like, Lord have mercy, what's really going on? And that was very scary too. The reason that was because they pulled too much. And I lost my vision because when I did come through, the nurse was like, can you see me? I was like, yeah, I see your big eyes. What happened? And he said, I made a mistake and pulled too much. I said, you got to be more careful. I said, you trying to kill me? So we laughed about that, but it was really not a laughing matter. Um, but it's just, it got to be a better process. It really do. Um, I just don't know. It's like you just got to learn what's going on, because they think this is okay. It's not okay with me. Um, so I'm just thankful. I'm really thankful for the Solaris medication that it did do one thing for me. It did help me back in, which I'm so grateful for that. But I was told that would have to take the Solaris medication again before I have my transplant, my kidney transplant, and whatever day is scheduled for me to get a new kidney. They will have to put me on the medication because they don't want the my new kidney to have any issues and stuff. So I probably will have to be on the Solera medication for a while before and after. So that's how they educated me on that medication or whatever, which is good. The Solaris was good to me, the medication or whatever. So I am thankful. Oh Lord, geez, you just don't know. Every time I urine, I was telling my husband, "Hello, I urine, baby, I urine." I was like, "Hallelujah." Yes. But yeah, so sometimes we just take life for granted, the little things, our eyesight, just little things, years in the bathroom, I never thought that would ever happen to me. Um, so yeah, I mean, Lord knows, this right here, I try to educate my family and let them know how I feel, what I've been going through, whoever want to know, how I've been dealing with the process. And when they make a boo-boo, I'll let it be known because when I had the catheter above my breast and stuff, and I'm like, this is pretty cool, but I have heard stories about, the fistula or the graft you got in your arm and the needles and how the patients was getting infiltrated, going back and forth to the access center and stuff. So I was prolonging mass because you can catch an infection up there and this and that. And so they was just on me too much. And I said, let me do it on my time. But if I know that if something is my catheter look like it's infected or whatever, but I took care of it. I had to cover it, they clean it, or I clean it or whatever. Um, we just had to figure out a way how to sleep proper, without damage or making a mistake when pulling the catheter out. So when I did decide to go ahead and go get mapping, they call it mapping, to see which one would be a better fit for me, a Fishler or a Graf. So as me watching what's going on in the dialysis places and see who going to the different accesses, was one patient there that we became cool. Um, he wasn't going to the access center. And I said, "Oh, why you don't go to the access center?" And he said, "Oh, I don't mess with that. A surgeon done that, done my fistula for me." I said, "Really?" And I said, "What's your doctor's name? Because I don't want to go to that access center." It seems like every time the patient go to the access center, they get fucked up more. They're having issues. They're going in there. Who want to continue having surgery? I don't. So I done. He gave me the doctor who done his mapping and his Fishler. I looked him up. He got good reviews. I called him up, made an appointment and stuff, and he was good. He was about his business. He educate me. He let me know what would be a best fit for me. First, he said that I'm gonna have the graft done to mass, and he said once the mapping is completed, then we can, look at it more further. So when he scheduled me up, I had that done, and when it was time to have the surgery, he informed us that me and my husband that you don't need the graft. You need a fistula, which the fistula they say is more better because I think the graft they have to connect some stuff, make some artificial stuff or whatever, But he done an awesome job. So when I had that done and everything, so I still had the catheter in me because that's where they had to continue getting the treatment until my arm healed from the surgery from the fistula. And he said, whenever you feel like you comfortable starting going through the process and having them to use your fistula and stuff, you could go right ahead. So it took me a minute, because I'm like, I just was afraid to start using it because how they was messing people up. And I said, dang, you get two needles and stuff. And that crossed my mind. I'm like, oh, Lord, have mercy. Then I said, okay, teacher, you're a big girl. You can handle this. So when I did decide them to allow them to start using my fistula, uh, the first week was good. But that second week, that got infiltrated. I'm like, what the hell? And when a patient get infiltrated, it feel like your arm about to explode and it turns green, purple, and yellow quickly. And since my first time experience that, I was like, oh no, take me the hell off, mm-mm. And they ask you want to try another place? Hell no. My arm feel like it's about to explode and blow up. I'm going to emergency, 'cause I'm like, oh no, my shit turned purple, green, and yellow that fast. I'm like, oh no. So when I did go through emergency, when I told them to take me the hell off this machine because, y'all ain't killing me. So when I did go through emergency, I went to where my doctor worked at, and they took pictures and they was like, oh, how does this happen? I said that part right there. Because this fistula was good. It was nothing wrong with the fistula. It was the tech that's worked at the dialysis place. They were sticking me incorrect. And so what the doctor ended up doing is going back into the fistula and making it as easy as possible. He brought it all the way up to my arm right here. And you can feel the heart, you can feel it moving and stuff, that means you have a good fistula and stuff. And he was like, Dietrich, just make sure the black is turned this way and the red turned that way, meaning the needles and stuff, that you know that they are sticking you properly. So just pay attention and monitor that. And I'll say, I'm sure am. I don't have time to continue to get infiltrated like that, because it's not a good feeling. They think that's okay. That process got to change because that's not okay. What patient want to continue getting fucked up and getting infiltrated like that, and going back into your arm and having surgery? That's no, I don't think that's right. It got to come with a better way. They act like it's okay. No, it's not okay. And then you want to stick, nope, nope, stick someone again. No, how? Because it's the swelling. So once I got that taken care of, and I'm glad I still had my second lifeline, which was the catheter. They were able to use that until my arm healed. And I was very particular. I was like, nope, I'm going to take a little longer. Um, for them to continue to use my catheter and not use my fissure yet, which is in my arm, my left arm. So I'm like, So went through that, and I think I didn't let them use until 6 weeks after, more than enough. So that went along. So 2 months later, got infiltrated again. And when I said I act a fool, I ain't gonna say act a fool. I'm like, something ain't right. Yeah, I don't want this person to touch me anymore. So I end up letting the nurse put me on because I'm like, this is my life. I can't continue allowing no one to screw me up like that, because I sit there and watch different texts, which is a good, just all right text, and ones that ain't too good, some of them just getting a paycheck, they ain't caring, they not a caring person. And I'm like, treat me like you would treat your mama, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your husband, whoever. Treat me like a family member. They come in there with attitudes. I'm like, life be life, and we all going through situation. Leave that shit at the front door, and then pick it back up. What you think? We don't got nothing going on. Our mind playing with us, other issues, and it's just like. So, if we coming in here and we your patient, have better attitude than you is. If this not your health, if this is not your field, if you're not a caring person, you don't need to be in this field. And you can accept what we as patients telling you what you are doing wrong, and you guys want to sit up there in the corner and talk about the patients and everything when the machine going off. Y'all sitting up there looking crazy and everything. Hey, the machine going off because they have to be more mindful because when these machines go off, that add more time to the time that we on. And also you accumulate a blood clot. Who want to do that? Where they do that at? So it's just a lot of little things that goes on there that you have to really be mindful. I do not go to sleep there. That's one reason why I do not go to sleep, because things happen, and mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope. Because I'm ready. I want to live. I come here, expect you guys to, do your job and take care of the patients. Just not me take care of all your patients. I'm fighting for everybody on there. You know, um, it's just I'm just more voices about mass. Just got to speak up. And they think I don't know what the hell they thinking, but I let them know this ain't it. Until you on this side, then we can have a conversation because we can talk about it. Because you know what we're going through. I know what you're going through. You know what I'm going through. So we can have a conversation. We have similarities. And I just pray that each and everybody that's on dialysis get a kidney, that who wants a kidney, because everybody don't want a kidney, you know. For those that do, just continue staying prayed up, continue having hope, and find a center, go ahead and get evaluated because they wanted me to wait a whole year for evaluation, meaning that, you get on the list, you get on the kidney list or whatever, and I'm like, nah, They wanted me to wait a year, and I said no, because I hear that the process is long, which it is, because you have to do a lot of different things. And I said to myself, I'm not about to do that. I'm like, by the time that year comes, I've been have everything I need to be done. They give you a checklist. So I had to make a phone call because I'm like, no, my doctor was telling me this, that, and the other, and I'm like, no, you can't give me an answer. Why? Why should I wait? I don't know the theory behind that. Why? If I'm willing to do this while my mind, because the longer you on dialysis, your kidneys, you other health issues happen. Other things can happen. And I pray to God that nothing else goes on with me, because I'm really, really ready. I'm just ready. So I made a phone call, and someone made another call and they called me back and told me to call the number, and that's how I ended up uh, getting on Michigan list. I done the process within 30 days. Because I'm like, look, I'm ready to get on with. Let me go ahead and make these appointments. I'm not going to sit here and wait, 30 days after each test or whatnot. Come on, let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and knock it on out. And I feel like if I have done everything that I'm supposed to do, don't give me no riff. Don't give me no back talk. I have done everything. So um just do your job. There's a lot of people in healthcare just don't like doing their job. Some of them just because it's a paycheck. This is a really serious job. Uh, any type of illness is serious. If someone's, you going to and supposed to be taking care of you. Yeah, they've been saying, Dietrich, maybe you probably have you ever think about doing home dialysis? Nope, that's too much. Nope. And because for me, I think if something go left me, I don't know. I'm just not comfortable with that yet. And I have talked to different patients that who have done it. They've done it for a minute, but they back at the clinic. Me at the center. And I'm like, no, I'm not going through that. That means I gotta have another surgery, gotta have a tube in me and this, that, now that's too much. I don't want too many marks on me to remind me what I've been through. One mark is enough that I know that this means that, hey, you was on dialysis, your kidneys failed or whatever. I don't need a lot of different marks on my body. For what? A lot of different surgery. That's too much because they say they had to put a tube in your stomach and this. Oh, no, I think that's more cause for infection and stuff. So it is not a good fit for me. Um, I already said nope, not at all. But I just want to get on here and just talk to you. And if you're going through anything, just continue to stay prayed up because hey, I be having conversation. I wake up and talk to God. I talk to him every day, 24 hours. I know. This was funny. I mean, it wasn't funny, but me and my husband was in a grocery store line and stuff, and he just was talking. I just having a conversation, and he said, "Dietrich, who you talking to?" I said, "God." He looked at me. I said, "You thought I was crazy talking to myself?" He told me, "No, I'm gonna let you finish talking to God." I said, "Well, thank you. Let me continue and have a conversation with him, tell him what I'm going through or what I need, and just continue walking with me and with this." Continue praying. I was just asking, let's continue to let me wake up with a healthy mind, a mind, or I don't know how it was, but I just want to continue living. That's what I was saying. You know, having a conversation. It's a personal conversation between me and him. You know, and I mean, I was talking, girl. I was talking, 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 talking. So, but yeah. But until next time, I'm gonna let you guys know my duration, my process of how I'm dealing with this process and everything. Yeah, I have to continue being my own advocate because if you're not, you gotta ask questions. I try to ask as many as questions, and as this medication is doing more harm than good. this high blood pressure pills. It just, it's just too many side effects on any type of medication. And I be leery. Uh, I just feel like if my numbers good, I ain't got to take that medicine. And it's continue being good for each week, each month. Oh no. Mm-mm. So there's certain things that I have to stop eating. I can't live how I was living before. I can't eat what I was eating before. I got to be mindful. Yeah, do I do that every day? No, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I eat bad food sometimes, but hey, life be life, and I just continue trying to live life as best as I can. But I'm gonna sign off and say thank you for continuing to listen to me, and I hope continue having hope, faith, because life be life and the unknown happens. We living minute by minute, second by second. We don't know. It used to be say living the one day, take one day at a time. Shit, you better take 1 second at a time because life be life, and I have experienced so much, and life does be life, and because I just got over breast cancer. It haven't been five years. It'll be 5 years in January, and then this happened to me. So I wanted to question God, but I couldn't question Him. Hey, I don't know why these different illness hit me. I just gotta take it and keep it moving and be strong and continue staying prayed up. And having hope. But I love each and every one of you. Nothing you can do about it. Peace, love, hope. Love your family. Love on each one because you don't know, who's loving on you. Love them back. If they not meant to be for you, just leave them alone. But life be life and make your circle as small as you can. Live stress free. Okay, because I try not to have no stress. I love you. See you till next time. Peace.